good afternoon. Thank you for taking the time out for our final pre-match press conference of the season. We have with us Coach Mahela Jayawardene, and let's follow process that we would do as always. Mahela, the first question that's come on the chat is that this year we've seen a lot of youngsters put their hand up and perform exceedingly well across the games. What do you think that bodes? Do you think that bodes well for the future of the team?
Yeah, definitely. I think at the auction we made a conscious effort of bringing in few youngsters into the squad, and we knew that they're very talented, exciting prospects. During the season, we had the opportunity to give them games. Sometimes, in other seasons, which we haven't been able to. And through that, they've actually put their hand up and performed, and it's great for us to see how they handle pressure out there in the middle, especially in IPL cricket. It's not easy. So overall, very happy the way those young guys have reacted to those situations. They've learned a lot. We've learned a lot about them. So as a franchise moving forward gives us a lot of options in how we need to rebuild the team.
Saurabh, do you want to go next?
Yeah, thanks. Apologies if it has been asked already in Dawson's Power. Mahela, I just wanted to ask you about the youngsters who have debuted by Indians. How impressed have you been with their performances and how they've taken on the challenges? And, do they present the way you want to take the team forward for the coming seasons?
Yeah, I think say if you pick on individuals, I think Tilak is probably the standout. Scoring almost 400 runs. He's been asked to do few different roles for us this year, batting at 3, bat at 4, even at 5, finished a game recently. I think the process for him is been challenging him in different situations against good bowling units. He's responded really well, shown a lot of good qualities along the way. If you take someone like Brevis, just 18-year-old coming out of the under-19s, hadn't had much first-class cricket. But given the opportunity, we gave him the freedom to go out and play his game. He showed what he's capable of. It was managing his emotions along the way. I think he probably got overwhelmed a little bit, so that's when we felt that we probably need to take him away from that environment and go through the processes of him understanding what the game is all about. I'm very excited that we've had these two young guys who's showing a lot of potential for us. At the same time, a great story in Kumar Karthikeyan. I mean, the more I speak to him, he just feels that we're going back time in understanding how tough someone's life can be, and when you have these kind of dreams and the path that he's taken. He's looking forward to going back home after 8 years. Haven't seen his mother or father, which is amazing story. But the commitment the guy showed through the season in our support bowling group, and we see the quality that he possesses. And, it's something amazing for us to work with. As a coach, I'm so delighted that individuals like that. The determination that he shows, and if you talk to him, a very smart kid, learned a lot through life as well as on the field and off the field. So it's amazing story. Shokeen has been brilliant, a very bubbly character in the group. Shows a lot of potential going forward to improve, not just as a bowler but as a genuine all-rounder. So very excited to have him as well. And there are a couple of more other guys, we haven't been able to give them a lot of opportunities, but Ramandeep in the last few games has shown potential, what he can do. So there's a lot of options for us going forward, getting everyone together, understanding their strengths and weaknesses, and having younger guys in the squad obviously brings a lot of energy, and that's something that bodes well for us going into the next season.
Sort of follow?
I think for me, having a core group and having all these guys, we need to understand as a team where we did not do well. I think as any season where we start slow, which is a concern for us, the intensity that we played the first 4 or 5 games where we had the opportunities to win matches where we didn't execute certain skills, making mistakes. That's something that we need to rectify, because getting those early wins always gives teams confidence, and then you win matches from nowhere, and that gives you that platform to get into the season and be dominant. So the intensity and obviously execution, handling those little pressure situations in those early stages of the tournament, that probably was a main concern for us this year. There were quite a few games that we had uh, opportunities to win. Usually we do finish those games, and this year, which we didn't, with the bat and with the ball both, where we lost opportunities. So that's something that we will talk to the guys this season, and then make sure that we are ready for those challenges going forward. It's about the cycle. It's about rebuilding the unit, understanding what my brand is, and yes, it's a lot of learnings for us this year, and making sure that we don't make the same mistakes going forward.
Thank you.
Niharika, do you want to go next?
Yes, good afternoon, coach.
Good afternoon.
I want to know from you, what are the takeaways for you and coach from this season of Mumbai? What are the learnings for you as a coach?
Well, the learnings for me, as the how individual players react to situations. I think we had a core group, but not like other years. Most of our other group has been new to us, and as coaches, we always try to understand their capacities, how they perform, the skill set, in situation environments, how they react. So these are learnings as coaches that we note down and try and bring all these people together, because the importance is about roles within the group, out there in the middle especially, who fits into what, and how we can execute a perfect game. And most often than not, this year we haven't done that. Like I've expressed earlier, the execution hasn't been great. We didn't have that killer instinct to close games off. We didn't have that intensity to start the season with. On the field, the other teams were better, and we've realized that. So those are areas that we need to improve on. And yes, we will look at, once we sit down after the season, we'll debrief, we'll look at each game, how we need to improve, where we need to improve, and rebuild from that.
Niharika, any follow up?
No, thank you.
Shresh, do you want to go next?
Yes, thank you. Good afternoon. My question to you, Mahela, is as an observer of the game, as a neutral, not necessarily as a coach of the Mumbai Indians, what trends about the IPL 2022 have you been surprised to see, or have shown you that T20 cricket is going in a particular direction or not? Be it yes.
Good question. I think I honestly haven't thought about as a neutral, because when you're involved in a franchise, you're always trying to figure out the trends of other teams and how we can improve as a team. But if I give myself 30 seconds to think about it, I think the trend's been that the two new teams obviously have, gelled together, in the sense that the roles that individuals have played, obviously they put in their hand up and played some really good cricket in tough situations and won some crucial matches throughout. The other teams that who were building, having core groups and trying to be consistent, haven't probably done that. I think sometimes the way you played in a particular way for a period of time would change with with a big auction and with new players coming. It's sometimes that it's difficult to play the same way, so you need to find new ways of adapting to those. So I think if you look at a trend, I think for me the clear out is that, because the two new teams have been more consistent because they never had a past history. It's about individuals getting together and playing their cricket and then falling into a brand that it's a new brand that they've played. So that's been a clear indicator for me as a coach, analyzing how the season has gone. So the teams that already been in the IPL, who had squads, who had played a certain brand of cricket, had to improvise, had to do differently to compete. And that's something that everyone will learn through this season and going forward.
Shresh, any follow-up?
Yes, one short follow-up. Thank you for the opportunity. Mahela, my second question was about the playoffs. Obviously, it didn't go Mumbai's way, but don't want to discuss too much about that. But I just want to know, as a person, as a leader who has taken teams to the playoffs so many times and achieved success, what is the one skill or quality that a team needs to keep focused on to succeed once they reach the playoff stage?
Well, I think it's just calmness around the group. The experience is key, handling those big games, big situations, but it's still a game of cricket, and trying to keep guys focused on that, backing their skills. You can get positives from the season, but at the same time what you have to realize is, once you get into the playoffs, the season, whatever's happened, is finished, and that's a different challenge altogether, and striking that balance would be the key.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you. Rajesh, you want to go next?
Yeah, I was good afternoon.
After
Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
yes.
Yes, my question is, we have seen power hitting go up a notch this season. The other day, Tim almost got Mumbai home with those four huge sixes. The Lucknow versus KKR match saw insane hitting in that was like sixes being hit like left, right, and center. So my question is, like, how as a coach or as a team one plan for this, as a bowling unit or as a batting unit, and where do you see this power hitting game going with T20 developing into a more power hitting game and going forward? What are the pros and cons, or whether it depends on conditions?
I think I think you answered your question itself. I think it's conditions. It's conditions related. At the same time, the bowling units are getting better as well, execution wise. You're trying to be different, but I would put power hitting in a different way. I think if you take 5, 6, 7 years back, it was particular players who were power hitters, like this guy is a power hitter who's going to take you down, and a certain situation. But nowadays, I think if you take the batting lineup, anyone is a power hitter. Everyone can hit sixes, anyone can hit boundaries. It's not just about brutal power hitting, it's about getting 15 runs and over, which people are doing it in different ways. How Rinku would bat and how Tim would bat, how Polly would bat, or how Russell would bat, or Ravman would bat, or Stoinis would bat is different. So that is that understanding of what are they trying to do in that situation and what are their strengths. So as bowlers, having that plans, execution, it'll be different. You probably not be able to do the same thing, repeatables as well, because the batsmen are ready for you. So these are the challenges that as coaches and as teams have, and trying to be bit more different in handling those situations. It's like in other sports, like if you follow American football or even basketball, you have set plays and you try and execute a set play in those kind of situations. And bowlers are like that now, so they are being different. We see a lot of new skills coming in every year. Some do work, some doesn't work, but it's the game's evolving, and with power hitting, it'll keep evolving, and it'll be better for the game, great for the spectators as well.
Rajesh, any follow up?
No, thank you, coach.
Thank you. Vishesh, can you go next, please?
Hi, Mahela. Looking at the way Tim David has played in the last few matches, do you think he has been one of the biggest positives for you? And when in full flow, he and Pollard can be lethal combination as a depth?
Yeah, I think, when we got him at the auction, we felt that, last 12 months, what he has done in the circuit, he possesses a lot of talent. For us, it was about his temperament. How is he going to handle IPL, because it's a different tournament from what he has experienced before. How he's going to adapt. Initially, felt that it was a bit tough for him and in that environment, and that's probably why I guess he didn't play through the season. But we felt when he was hitting the ball well, when he had the confidence, and he was in his pace, that we bought him, and he's shown the quality that what he can do. It's not easy, especially when you're coming at that number and being able to get going straight away in those situations and finishing games off. He's adapting to it pretty well at the moment. So for us, is about giving them that opportunity, giving him the confidence as well. Obviously, Polly's been an integral part for us with Mumbai for such a long period, and he's done it. He's been amazing, and obviously he struggled a bit this season, and it's an opportunity for us going forward. I mean, it gives us different options. How you want to set the team up against different opposition combinations and all that. So that's something that we will sit down after the season and look at all those options. But having the quality that we have in the squad, yes, we have to be brutally honest, we haven't played good cricket. Like I've said earlier, the intensity, we haven't taken control of crucial moments in certain matches, where we had that done, we had the confidence to get those 4 or 5 wins in a row, where we will be fighting for those playoffs, and it's that kind of a season. But definitely disappointed. But having seen the skills we have, especially the youngsters, the way they have performed as well, it's us going back to the drawing board and finding out solutions.
Just a small follow-up, Mahela. Jofra Archer has suffered another injury setback. Are you in any case worried about the next season, or is something too far ahead to worry about right now?
I think, to be honest, it's too far ahead. We just need to assess what the process is going to be with the stress fracture. Obviously, consultants, ECB, and that due process will follow. Our team of experts will also keep monitoring his progress. It's all about, he didn't have these kind of injuries in the past, so it's something new. So hopefully it's nothing too bad. Like we've have a lot of guys who've gone through that in our team as well. So we will see how he progresses. But 10 months to the next IPL, so there's a lot of time for us to assess his situation and see. And we're hoping that he makes a strong recovery and he'll be available for us next season.